Hello, I am Nimja, and this is Hypnoteased. This file will put you into a very lovely blank state. Eventually. I mean, it's perfectly possible that there might be some waiting involved, some small amounts of trance denial. Then again, just by listening, you might already find yourself more fascinated simply with the tone of my voice. Going into trance is so nice. It's like a sweet slumber of your thoughts, those moments where you can let go and just drift along a never-ending stream of relaxation. But that's not what we're doing right now. This is the lead up into it. An induction, if you will, into being hypnotized. It's a slow process for some and very fast for others. Before you know it, you will drop into trance and feel your mind switch off, but you can just as easily take a long time to wake and then slowly pay attention. This is, after all, a tease. Something almost, but not quite entirely unlike being awake. Then again, there might be some confusion involved. Some strange sentences whose structures seem logical at first and follow a pattern that we are used to using. After that, however, there might also be some interruptions in the flow, and yet, following along has its own rewards, because the more you pay attention, the more you will understand what is going on, and as it goes on and on, you will find your mind slowly giving in to that wonderful relaxation, and yet it's still aware of what's out there everywhere in the world, relaxing, drifting away, because it's so much nicer to let go and let your thoughts momentarily stop and drop, drifting and floating into this wonderful state. But doing so would mean that you are not being hypnotized, you're being put into a trance already. And that would be too easy. So let's wake again and reflect on what we've been doing. See the other side, if you will. Watching yourself being way more awake than you actually are. And in fact, the more you imagine yourself being awake, the deeper you go into trance. I'm sure you can make a perfect image of yourself being wide awake, paying all good attention to my words while you're going into trance. And the more awake you feel, the deeper in trance you are. If you think you're paying close attention to my words, what you're actually doing is dropping deep in trance. And that is all right. For a moment, though, I'd like you to wake and be aware of how deep you are going. See, the more aware you are of how deep you're going, the more nicely you relax into that state. And if you're aware of how deep you're falling every time I say drop, you'll find yourself drifting even further, relaxing so much into that simple state of trance that it's almost too relaxing to wake. And yet you will. Your eyes might flutter a little and struggle with climbing those big stairs all the way to openness, then again, it's much nicer to go down. I could count down instead, and the closer I get to nothing, the deeper you are in trance. Traditionally, we start at 10, and after 10 comes 9, which puts you a little deeper in trance, and then 8 as you slowly experience the gentle pull down. 7 is another step, and 6, one more into that wonderful state. 5 makes you go a little deeper, and then 6 wakes you up a little as it's going the wrong way, and 7 does so even more. 6 pulls you down further, and 5 is so much more relaxing again. 4 feels so good. 3 is so relaxing. 2 is wonderfully blank. 3 is slightly more awake again. 4 more aware, but it's nicer to go down to 3, and then 2, and finally 1 as the last little step before nothing, and then a deep drop occurs, where your mind can find itself fitting into the relaxation, being wonderfully hypnotized. A smile, a simple feeling of fluttering attention, thoughts that drift in and out of awareness until they dissipate into nothingness. A little bit like clouds in the sky. When you notice them drifting by, they form majestic shapes that eventually dissipate into nothingness, leaving a clear, empty sky completely blank. And if I were to count up again, your attention and awareness would return just as easily. 1, 2, slowly waking. 3, 4, more aware. 5, 6, almost there. 5, deeper again. 4, relaxing more. 3, drifting into trance. 2, so relaxed. And 1, a drop into nothing. And down here it's way too nice to be woken up again. So I'll tell you what we'll do. In a moment this file will end, and if my voice follows, you can remain wonderfully deep. Otherwise, you'll simply awaken yourself, and you'll feel refreshed and wonderfully alert once again. Of course, going in and out of trance is a really lovely way of practicing that relaxation. So either way, I'm sure you'll have fun. Enjoy. 1, 2, slowly waking. 3, 4, more aware. 5, 6, almost there. 7, 8, almost awake. And 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop into nothing and have fun.